Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. I thought I'd do a quick weather update here on Tropical Storm Franklin and for the weather that's going on in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast with some heavy rains. I'm not going to be able to have a chat after this, but we'll save that for tonight when the next video stream is scheduled. Thought I'd pop in real quick. So from the standpoint of the rain, we are getting some rain. I'm thinking this is not going to be too big a deal. Areas from southern New Jersey on southward, there could be a couple of inches of rain in some places, and being that the ground is so saturated, there could be some flooding issues there. But that'll all move out tonight. Weather conditions will improve. Tropical Storm Franklin is strengthening rather quickly, and based on the satellite loop that I looked at, it looked like there might be an eye that's trying to form already. So the Hurricane Center is actually stated that this may become a hurricane before it moves into the Yucatan Peninsula, let alone whatever it does on the other side. So conditions are favorable for rapid strengthening. I'm going to switch over to the weather portion of this, and we will then talk to you later this evening when the next video stream is scheduled for 10:30 Eastern Time. Hi, everybody. It's Joe Cioffi as we get to the lunchtime hour here, and I just want to go over what's going on weather-wise locally, and we'll take a look also at Tropical Storm Franklin toward the end of this. But first and foremost is the rain that's moving in for this afternoon across south-central Pennsylvania, north-central Maryland, northeastern Virginia, north and eastern New Jersey, on through the Hudson Valley, Long Island, and Connecticut. The Storm Prediction Center has the severe weather risk, mainly from southern New Jersey down into Delaware and back over into Maryland, except as you go up toward the Pennsylvania border, and the slight risk much further south in southern Delmarva, eastern Virginia, and northeasternmost North Carolina. And this is because the low center is forecast to track across northern Virginia off the South Jersey coast. So the warm air is going to collect south and east. To the north and west of the low, there's likely to be some heavy rains, and that is the reason why we have flash flood watches up for much of eastern Maryland, southeastern Pennsylvania, north and east from there into northeastern New Jersey and Long Island. Now back through south central Pennsylvania and north central Maryland, there are no flash flood watches up at the moment. However, there is heavy rain, and being that the ground is fairly saturated, it wouldn't take much rain for some flash flooding to occur, especially if you get into some of the heavier downpours and some of the thunderstorms that are around. Now, we'll look at the satellite view at the moment, and here's that wave that's moving northeastward. We have the stalled frontal boundary to the south, and a wave is developing on that front and is moving northeastward. So kind of think of it like in the wintertime when a low goes by to your south and you start to get to the northeast and east flow from off the ocean. So that's what's bringing in a lot of the moisture that is going to be producing the rain today. And of course, where that warm sector sets up, and we think, again, it's going to be right in this area here, where the best chance for severe thunderstorms occurs, and then just north and west of the low center is where you wind up getting an inch or maybe 2 inches of rain. But there's going to be a sharp cutoff in that rainfall. Just to show you here on this is the NAM model view of the rainfall for today into tonight, and you'll notice that the big rainfall amounts are to the southeast, and actually targeting areas that have gotten quite a bit of rain over the last few weeks. But go north and west of there, and you can see the amounts are generally a half an inch or less. So the heavy rain is going to set up further south, and of course where that severe weather occurs, that's where you could get some extreme amounts. But the models have been kind of pushing that further and further south over time. Just looking at the radar at midday, and I'll put a loop here for you. We're looking at the central Pennsylvania radar out of State College, and we'll start there, and then we'll go north and east. But you can see this is all the moderate to heavy rain that is now moving through the western half of Maryland on up into south central and southeastern Pennsylvania. The yellows indicating some moderate and heavy rains. We don't see any thunderstorms here at the moment. And moving northeast from there, we have the rains on up even into northeastern Pennsylvania, although that rain gets lighter as you go. And I'm going to switch and go down to the Philadelphia radar, the Mount Holly radar out of Fort Dix. So this gives you a pretty wide view of what's happening. We have that heavy rain in the, particularly in the yellow that you see moving northeastward. Now up into central New Jersey, much of southeastern Pennsylvania. The air here up in the northeast around northern New Jersey and New York City still pretty dry. So a lot of this rain that's coming up is evaporating before it reaches the ground. But that's going to change as we move through the rest of this afternoon and into this evening. So just be advised that there could be some heavy downpours, and there's likely to be some flash flood warnings posted for a few places in our region going through this afternoon and into tonight. And weather conditions are forecast to improve on Tuesday, and it looks like we'll be dry Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. Tropical storm Franklin continues to get better organized. We have upper air winds becoming very light over it, and that is creating very favorable conditions for strengthening. And in fact, it's possible that this could even become a minimal hurricane before it makes landfall. I don't know if that's the beginnings of what could be an eye here. That may or may not be. I want to see a few more pictures on the satellite loop over the next few hours to see that if that is the case. But it is a well-developed tropical storm. It's going to cross the Yucatan Peninsula, head into the Southwest Gulf. It is of no threat to the weather in the United States. As far as the wider view on the Atlantic, just to show you, this tropical wave that's out in the Atlantic is still there. There's some thunderstorms flaring up with that, but conditions aren't overly favorable for development. There's a lot going on in the Atlantic, but Franklin does stand out here as a well-developed tropical system, and we'll keep you posted on that and much more later on today. So everybody have a great afternoon. Be safe with the rains that you're going to be dealing with. And just to leave you with it, once again, this is the rainfall forecast amount from the NAM model. I'll punch up the GFS to see if it's any different. And let's see how much of the new model do we have. We have enough. And even the GFS actually cuts the rainfall amounts back to a half an inch or less, with the heavier amounts even further south. And this is what happens when you have a low that runs offshore. There's a narrow band of heavy rain north and west of the low center, and also where the thunderstorms are falling. But I think we're going to be okay with this overall. Just the fact that in some places the ground is so saturated, a half an inch of rain may be enough to cause some flooding. So just beware of that. And we will have more on this as we go through the afternoon.